To all the skeptics in the comments, I promise this is my actual biological voice you're hearing, not an AI, it's 100% organic. I haven't had a firmware update in years. We are witnessing the most expensive restructuring in history. In corporate speak, restructuring is just a fancy word for, we set the building on fire, and now we're trying to sell the ashes. They aren't just failing, they are failing with audacity. They've spent a decade building a lighthouse made of microtransactions, only to realize they built it in a desert. This is a controlled demolition of every IP you ever loved. This is how you kill a legend. The Prince of Persia, Sands of Time remake, is officially dead. It didn't just get cancelled, it got vaporized, sent to the Shadow Realm. The gate was locked from the outside. Ubisoft spent years polishing this game. When Ubisoft says polishing, they mean we have no idea how to fix this, so we're just rubbing dirt on it and hoping it looks like gold. Remember that 2020 trailer? It looked like it was rendered on a toaster. Like a PS2 game trying to pass for a mobile port at a funeral. The fans didn't just complain, they revolted. Ubisoft panicked. They moved the project from their studios in India to Montreal. That's like realizing your house is on fire and trying to put it out by moving your couch to a different country. Eventually, the math of return killed the prince. The accountants finally learned how to use Excel. They looked at the cost of fixing a decade of bad decisions. Then they looked at the 3 guys on Reddit still asking for it. The numbers didn't add up. Why spend $50 million on a nostalgic masterpiece when you can spend it on a new skin for a tactical shooter that nobody plays? But the prince isn't alone in the abyss. 5 other games were sent to the Shadow Realm alongside him. Ubisoft won't tell us which ones. It's a game of corporate Among Us. Is it Beyond Good and Evil 2? Probably. That game has been in development since the Bronze Age. Archaeologists will find the source code before gamers do. Is it a new Rayman? Don't make me laugh. Ubisoft doesn't make fun games anymore. They make engagement platforms. If a game doesn't have a battle pass, it doesn't have a pulse. They are hiding these corpses to protect the stock price. It's like hiding a body in the basement and pretending you're just renovating. Their financial guidance for 2026 is gone. They have no map. They have no compass. They just have a burning pile of IPs and a CEO who thinks quadruple A is a real word. Want to see a crime scene in real time? Go check Ubisoft's YouTube channel. It is a masterclass in how to get ratioed into another dimension. Every video is a wall of dislikes. The comment sections are a graveyard of who asked for this, and Ubisoft is just EA with a French accent. They release a trailer for a new open-world adventure, and within 10 seconds you see the same icons, you see the same towers, you see the same generic protagonist with the personality of a wet sponge. The marketing team is living in 2012. They think CGI trailers still hype people up. Newsflash Ubisoft, we have eyes. We want gameplay. We want to see if the game actually works. Instead, we get pre-rendered nonsense that looks nothing like the final product. They spent a fortune on the Star Wars Outlaws marketing. They told us it was the ultimate scoundrel fantasy. It turned out to be a stealth optional slog with a haircut that even the 1970s would reject. The comments are a war zone. Fans are roasting them in every language known to man. The billionaire brand's trailers get less engagement than a video of a cat falling off a sofa. People are tired of being lied to. They are tired of the gold edition that costs $130. They are tired of early access that is actually just paying to be a beta tester for a broken product. Ubisoft is trying to use SEO to save themselves. They pack their descriptions with keywords. They try to trend on Twitter, but you can't optimize a dumpster fire. The casual viewer sees a Ubisoft logo and immediately hits not interested. The trust is gone. You can't buy hype with a marketing budget when your reputation is in the toilet. They are shouting into a void. The void is laughing back. And the void is winning. Guess what? Ubisoft isn't making games anymore. They are making HR-approved seminars. Every game feels like it was written by a committee of consultants who have never touched a controller. They are so focused on spreading the agenda that they forgot to include a fun button. I'm all for representation. But Ubisoft uses it as a tactical shield. When people complain about the boring gameplay, they call the fans toxic. When people point out the game-breaking bugs, they talk about modern audiences. It's a classic bait and switch. They take a beloved IP and strip away its soul. They replace it with a sanitized, corporate-safe version of activism that offends nobody and inspires nobody. It's milquetoast for the masses. Look at Assassin's Creed Shadows. They took a setting fans have wanted for 20 years. Japan, samurai, ninjas, it's a layup. Then they managed to make it a political flashpoint before a single person even played it. They focus on the message instead of the mechanics. The dialogue sounds like a LinkedIn post from a mid-level manager. The characters feel like they're reading from a diversity pamphlet. Gamers don't want to be lectured. They want to be entertained. They want to escape the real world. They don't want the real world shoved down their throats by a billion-dollar French corporation. This agenda isn't about progress. It's about ESG scores. It's about pleasing investors who don't know the difference between a joystick and a TV remote. Ubisoft has traded its fans for a pat on the back from a boardroom, and guess what? That boardroom isn't buying the games. The modern audience they keep chasing doesn't exist. It's a ghost. And while they chase ghosts, their actual players are walking out the door. How do you do, fellow kids? There is nothing more painful than a Ubisoft character trying to talk like a teenager. It's pure, concentrated cringe. They use slang that was outdated 6 months before the script was even written. They try to be edgy and hip. It feels like watching your grandfather try to breakdance at a wedding. It's not just bad, it's physically painful. X-Defiant is the peak of this disaster. The name itself is a crime against linguistics. It looks like a graffiti-covered fever dream from an executive who thinks Skibidi is a brand of soda. They try to capture the Gen Z energy. They fail miserably. The characters have quirky personalities that make you want to mute the TV. They wear neon clothes that would get you bullied in an actual war zone. Every dialogue line feels forced. They use emojis in their UI. They try to make memes happen. They don't realize that memes are organic. You can't manufacture cool in a corporate office in Paris. You end up with Watch Dogs Legion, where everyone talks like a revolutionary but acts like a clown. This is what happens when you have a youth consultant on the payroll. You get a game that feels like a 50-year-old dad wearing a backwards cap. It's desperate. It's pathetic. It's why the language of the youth is the fastest way to alienate the youth. They can smell the fakery a mile away. They know when they're being marketed to. Ubisoft thinks they're being relatable. In reality, they're just the weird uncle at the party who won't stop talking about his vibes. Please just stop. The numbers don't lie. Ubisoft's viewership is in a free fall. Go to Twitch right now. Look at the top games. You'll see League of Legends. You'll see Minecraft. You'll see whatever indie game just went viral. You won't see a Ubisoft game unless they're paying a streamer 6 figures to play it. Even the billionaire brands are ghost towns. Rainbow Six Siege is the only thing keeping the lights on in that building. Everything else is a graveyard. People aren't watching Far Cry anymore. Why would they? You've seen one, you've seen them all. It's the same loop every single time. Climb the tower. Kill the flamboyant villain. Repeat until you lose your will to live. It's not content, it's a chore. Engagement is the only currency that matters in 2026. Ubisoft is broke. Their live service games are failing to keep people logged in. Skull and Bones was supposed to be the quadruple A savior. It ended up with fewer viewers than a how to fold laundry tutorial. People are bored. They are tired of the Ubisoft formula. The Five Houses approach is a desperate attempt to fix this. They think if they split into smaller groups, they can innovate. But you can't innovate when your DNA is built on copy and paste. The nosedive will continue until they realize that gamers want experiences, not checklists. We want to play a game, not finish a spreadsheet. Until then, the viewership will keep dropping until the only person left watching is the CEO's mom. This is the most Ubisoft move of all time. They renew games for second seasons before the first season even launches. It's pure arrogance. They are so confident in their proven franchises that they don't wait for the audience to show up. They commit hundreds of millions to sequels for games that people haven't even played yet. It's like ordering a second pizza before you've tasted the first one. And the first one is already on fire. They are doubling down on failure. They think they can brute force a hit. If we just spend more money on The Division, people will love it. No, they won't. They'll just have a more expensive version of a game they're already ignoring. It's corporate gambling with a rigged deck. And then there's the 5-day office mandate. The company is losing billions. Projects are being deleted. The stock is crashing. Management solution: make everyone commute again. Because surely the reason Star Wars Outlaws was mediocre is because Bob wasn't sitting in a cubicle in Montreal. It's a classic distraction tactic. It's management by optics. They are forcing people back to the office to pretend they're doing something. It's easier to micromanage employees than it is to fix a broken creative vision. They are hemorrhaging talent. The best developers are leaving for studios that actually value them. Ubisoft is left with a skeleton crew and a management team that thinks collaboration happens in a break room, not in the game code. They are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic while the iceberg is already inside the ship.